And it notified me.
Hello,
Okay.
everyone. Welcome to our first podcast.
Oh, you sound so legit. It sounds so official.
Oh, thanks. But we didn't even say who we were, what the podcast is
Right.
called.
Well, you started us off, so you go first.
Okay, so I'll introduce myself. This is Toxic. What a name for a podcast. And I'm one of your co-hosts. I'm Shalina, and my other co-host is
Leah, I am an advertising copywriter and media expert, and Toxic is our platform for Charlene is the same, a writer and content strategist, media expert, all the things. We share a lot of ideas about some of the things that make the world work in shadowy ways, and have funny and pretty informed opinions on these things. And figured we should
Share
yeah
Them.
start share them and like do something with
Yes. So our plan is to every month release a magazine cover of should I say the villain du jour,
the
or is that
subject.
unfair?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, we're, I won't say openly hostile, but it's contentious. We can call them what we want to, but I guess we could say the subject, the person of topic,
Yes.
our guest of honor. How about that?
Oh,
Our
I
guest of
like that.
honor,
Our
right? We have
guest
a
of
guest of
honor.
honor.
Yes.
Yes, we have one every
Yes.
month. We do a little profile and write some funny headlines based on, common knowledge things and some deep research, actually. But stuff that we think people will know or but maybe haven't looked at in a certain light. And so, yeah, we add our perspective to these things. And I would say the common thread of what makes a thing toxic is yeah, sort of contributing to the downfall of society, not to be too serious, but yeah, something that sort of secretly is rotting us from the inside out.
Okay, I like it. That's good. And that also brings up kind of one of my concerns is to, I don't want to say poke fun at, but to critique and um explore or put a spotlight on someone's life. Someone who's
The
already in
spotlight.
the public eye. Is
Hmm.
that a low vibe thing? Is that kind of mean? It feels kind of mean to me sometimes. Is it low vibe to talk about
I
people?
I think no. If anyone else has, a differing opinion, we'll find a way for you to let us know. But I would say no. I think it's actually necessary. It is good, honest work. Um, Satire is completely necessary to any society. I think it's part of the checks and balances, but definitely a society that seems to be crumbling a little bit, struggling a little. Yeah, that these things sort of need satire to pull them together and to point to the things that go unseen, but in plain sight, weirdly.
Okay, I love that you brought up checks and balances because we live in a so-called democracy.
Sure.
God, it just fell out of my head what
That's
kind
what
of
we call
government
it.
we have. I know we're a republic,
Oh,
but it's not. Gosh.
klepto, Chris, what do they say?
No, who's gonna
Kleptocracy?
ever vote for me for governor? Okay, so America's a republic, but it's
Hmm.
a specific type, but I can't remember the word. But anyway,
Yes. Yes, I took a
supposed
tour and yes.
yes, but the
Sorry.
point is we all think that we have all these freedoms and that we live in a democracy. And one of the things about our system is there's supposed to be natural checks and balances. And there's this fourth side. Like we all learn in like what fifth grade government or something, we learn about the executive branch, we learn about the legislative branch, we learn about the judicial branch, that we don't truly learn until maybe college or high school that there's this fourth branch called the media. And that is supposed to be a natural checks and balance on power and not just our elected power, but power of corporations, power of celebrities. But instead, we have a
Mm,
fawning media that is completely owned by these corporations. And so it's like we laud these people, these celebrities, these
yes.
sports stars, these actors,
Yes.
these, I don't know, socialites, these tech titans. And it's like we laud and we praise them and we make them our new gods. We literally are idolizing them. And it's like, let's examine them a little bit more closely, these new gods that we've given ourselves. So, I mean, I do think it's low vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in it for the long haul, maybe 18 months, because I would prefer not to like be criticizing people every week, but these people are on my nerves, and I
No.
think half of them are villains, and I'm sick of them, and I think we need to talk about them. So that's that.
Okay, that's that. Well, how about this? Also, to sort of placate that those little niggling thoughts in the back of your head, maybe you have to bring up a good fact about them if you feel like sharing it, if it really makes you feel bad. But you take some time to think about that. So we've had two covers so far.
Yes. Okay. So
Yeah,
who was our first
yeah. Let's
cover?
talk about it. Our first cover was the illustrious, the super creative, Mr. Ye. I just realized that we are supposed to be calling him that because I guess other people realize we're supposed to be calling him that, and yeah, the artist formerly known as Kanye West, was our cover man, was our guest of honor. And what did we say about him? I can't even remember. We'll just briefly recap.
I know. I need to pull it up. And it's so
I
weird
know,
because this is a bootleg operation. I can't minimize my screen while we're recording.
quite
So
all right.
can you pull him up?
I probably can,
Okay,
yeah,
pull
and
him
I
up.
can do this so smoothly. Let's,
Awesome.
yes. Well, maybe not as smooth as I thought, but we're getting there. So I know that one of the things we said, actually, I don't remember a gosh darn thing we said about this man. How terrible! And they were, kind of ouchy.
Okay, we did not like that I don't know exactly what we said, but we did not like that he was pandering to white supremacists.
Okay. Yes, we don't like that. We
Um,
said hideous shoes and personal views. Ugly is in,
oh,
and
that's
that is
right.
right. That's referring to many things, but it happened just that week. He spouted off. It was at the beginning of him spouting off sort of the latest controversies. It was right
Oh,
around that time.
yeah. So he swung or slid right from wanting to champion all lives matter, which too long of a topic to get into why that was trash. But I
Right.
will just want to put a pin like, no, I see, how could I say it? Because I don't want anybody splicing my voice and without the full context. And then it's
Okay.
like, she said all that, you know what I mean? It's like, clearly life
Okay.
matters and everybody's life matters. The problem is that was specifically a response to Black Lives Matter and a way to denigrate it. So we'll just leave it at that.
Absolutely.
And people who can't understand that, no, I'm being positive, right? And high vibe. We won't, like I said, we're not going to get into it. But
Hi,
anyway, he
bye. There
slid
you go.
right from that all lives matter controversy while he
Mm-hmm.
pandered to white supremacists, and then marched right into anti-Semitism.
Right. It wasn't a good look, literally.
No,
Kind of messy. But we were right. It's funny. I don't know if those, yeah, I guess we did have some of that stuff in mind, but it all hadn't popped off. And it was just very timely, on top
it
of being
was
very
very
timely.
timely.
It was like extra timely. And then our next headline was Oat Mess or Hot Mess,
Oh
looks for
yes,
self-emasculation. As I mentioned, like we want to delve into topics that, yes, some of it might seem a bit obvious, but we always have like a perspective just slightly different and more informed from the perspective of being part of, maybe not part of media, but in critiquing media, there are things that you notice, there are patterns you're taught to see,
right.
and behind the scenes thinking, and that's what we would bring. So even if something seems obvious, like I think that is the perspective that we need to add to it. So self-emasculation, to explain that just a little bit, is just the need to sort of subjugate himself to fashion houses and the people he thinks who are above him. And it's just kind of gross and funny to watch. I'm going to speed through the next two just because we should get to our current couple person. And the last ones are this season's colors, black pain and white validation. And,
Mm,
that's just speaking to that's exactly what's happening is exploiting black pain for white validation for um, green dollars and not it's just kind of gross.
yeah,
And you
and
could say
acceptance. He needs it so bad.
an acceptance, yes, acceptance and
Acceptance
praise,
from white daddy,
right,
from the patriarchy, from the people who are so on top.
right, but then
Whatever. It's
but
fine.
likes to dip into his community, quote unquote, when he needs to be defended, when he does something that pisses them off. And
Ah, that's
it's just gross
right.
to me. Yeah, to be playing both sides is very gross. It's like we can see you, we all the time, not just when you want us to. We can see you visually with our eyeballs. Our last headline was "Yay or Nay: The hottest ways to sell out this season." Speaking exactly to what I just said, the idea of selling your community, wanting their dollars, but selling them out. Not every chance you get, but frequently enough, and hurtfully, very hurtfully. So yeah, that is what we had to say about Mr. Yay.
You brought up so much, and like we're like kind of on a time crunch, but exactly, as far as what you said about, but then turning to his community when he's in hot water. So I definitely didn't want to talk about at all the anti-Semitic stuff because that needs to be, that is like a whole separate topic that needs its own
Sure.
show, just kind of like, what was the other one that needed, oh, the Black Lives Matter stuff and all. Okay. But I do want to say what's interesting about that is the Black community, more so than any other community, obviously supported him through this. But I at some point someone's gonna need to talk about like what's the difference? Can you say something that's truthful and it also be racist? And how can you determine if someone is racist?
Such a good
It's
question.
complicated. You know what I mean? Like, because to me, I feel like I already have the answer. It's a heart condition. Because one thing no one wants to talk about is like what Kanye said. Was it true? Let's talk about that. No one wants to talk about that. Can something be true and also racist? Mm. And can Kanye even be racist? Of
Yeah.
course, he can't be racist because he doesn't have any real power or privilege. So institutions can be racist. I'm
But he
now
thinks he does. Poor little tink tink.
I know, and no one can come. I'm not gonna let anybody like
No.
pull up and swipe my black card, but I'm also starting to move towards like, can people even be racist? Like, they can be bigots, they can be white supremacists, but can they be racist? Like, institutions are racist, not
What does
necessarily
that
people. Like
mean?
systems. What I mean is like you
Why?
gotta
How?
have because it's kind of how like
You
no
got
black
power?
person can be racist. Like, we can't be racist. We don't have the power. Even if I have
Yeah.
individual power, I don't have like
Yeah.
the word you're looking for is I can be discriminatory or bigoted or have
No,
stereotypes
I think
or
social power is power. Social
okay,
power
so
is
then he has
power.
power. Not enough because he got canceled, which is exactly what he
Oh,
said.
I see what you're saying. You're correlating them. You're saying if it's true for people in general, it could be true for him.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly. Like,
that's fair.
is it fair to call him? We can call him anti-Semitic, but I guess we can't call him racist.
But you're right.
And,
No, but no, I guess yeah, I guess not. It doesn't really work that way.
and is
That
he
is interesting. It's a weird
anti-Semitic if
hole.
he's right that like a certain segment of population has a lot of influence over the entertainment industry and also profits off of black people's pain and will pull strings and have you canceled like that? It's that was truth. That wasn't racism. Heart condition determines
Yeah,
whether it's racist. Now, all that other stuff about DEF
yeah,
CON and this and that, that's when you're like, now are you being racist? Like, what's your heart condition?
yeah.
Because what he said to
And I think that's what
me,
people are actually.
yeah. You think that's what, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I've, sorry, I was just gonna say that I think that is part of it for a lot of Jewish people. Is being able to extrapolate. Like that is what comes next. Like there's criticism, and yes, everyone should be able to criticize whoever, whatever group, if it's legitimate. But often when it comes to Jewish people, that criticism becomes a little stronger than that and a little stereotypical and then becomes dehumanizing and
And
then
dangerous.
we get where we get and I think yeah, people have been hyper vigilant for very good reason. Like it does turn out that way, it seems quite often. So
And it
is there
does
anything else
have
you want
real
to
world
say?
effects because after that, it wasn't didn't some kids on the East Coast get arrested because they like hung like
Yeah,
anti-Semitic signs and things like that. So
yeah,
it's
that's
like,
an excellent point, is that he's also in a position where yeah, you can't say that stuff. Like nope, you have a platform and you have people listening to you, and it's really dangerous for you to spread ideas like that and without clarifying that like you reject violence and that that is never the way that people should go. So
right.
um
And
if
he
you
also, oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was going to say if there's anything else you want to say about him before we move on, we have a lot of maybe we won't even go through all
And
the
he
headlines.
showcased like don't flex unless you're ready to fight. Like he thought he and listen, whatever, people want to call him a genius or whatever. He thinks he has power, he thinks he has privilege, he thinks he can spot out. But now your butt is canceled. So you really can't because you might have a legitimate criticism over the music industry and how it is operates and how it targets and how it exploits. But guess what? What do you own then? You didn't even
Yeah,
own your, hopefully he owns his masters, but he didn't own any of his master designs at Adidas, so now you're canceled.
or
So,
his name. They can
oh
still sell. I can't
God.
remember if it's Gap or Adidas, one of the two, maybe both. Okay, I think whichever one has the shoe, so that would be Adidas. I think yes, they are allowed to. And last I checked, they were going to go ahead with selling his shoe without him,
Exactly. So
which is
like,
obscene.
so what are you? You
Which
know,
is so funny
Kurt
because it proves
Flood,
both sides.
it does. Kurt Flood. So, oh, that's a whole nother topic. But Kurt Flood was, oh, he's an amazing. Well, I don't know if he's an amazing baseball player, but he doesn't get the credit that he deserves for breaking open the baseball league. So it was like literally a plantation. Okay. Well, no, God, they're definitely gonna take my black card. Not literally a plantation. I walk that back. But I mean, professional sports. That's some gladiator plantation type stuff right there, especially back in the 60s and 70s, where you were drafted and you couldn't leave your team. Like you couldn't leave your team without their permission. Made it very hard to negotiate contracts, and they didn't make a ton of money the way they do now. And the reason why they do now, it
Wow.
goes all the way back to Kurt Flood, who took a hit to really break up the MLB cartel. And
Mm.
he had a great book, and it was called A Well-Paid Slave. And that's all I
Wow.
want to say about
Good
that.
for
People
him.
should read it. And so, Kanye,
Good
when
for
you want to
him.
spout off about things, even if you have $1 billion, you should probably not be what the title of Kurt Flood's book is about. So, anyway,
True. Very true.
okay, moving right on to
Well,
who?
I have to check this book
Our
out.
new cover
Yeah.
boy. Yeah.
To
Don't
your
call him.
favorite and mine. I took one too. Good old Elon Musk, our favorite
Tech Daddy.
apartheid era tech daddy. So
He's a slaver.
and a slaver. We talked about, we did not go easy on this man, but there was so much more to say. But some of our headlines included who's your tech daddy, fertile
Oh.
father juggles government assistance and baby mama drama.
Okay. And so just because I think sometimes because we are media junkies, we think people know what the heck we're talking about. Okay. Do people even know that that man has 10 fathers? Oh God, no. He has 10 kids by how many women? Three, four,
Yeah, three or four of
two?
them for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just in case they didn't know that, a couple of headlines down, it does say the something is silent. The X is silent. 10 baby names, too weird to pronounce.
Oh,
Um,
okay,
so
good.
yeah, we spell it right out for them that yes, that man has 10 human children with several mothers, to whom he is not married.
Okay, so we didn't get into this because that was just like
Mhm.
too much. But I don't know if people realize that he's never publicly stated this, but this is probably where his head is at. He is one of those, I think it's called pronatalists or something. So it's these group of people who I think it's
Oh
mostly white
gosh.
people, but they're like they're rich, they're smart, they think they have genetically superior genes, and so that they should
Gosh.
reproduce so that when we have population collapse their genes dominate. And so like this one group was saying how like yeah, they figured it out. Like I think she had 8 kids, and she was like if
Gosh.
all 8 of my children can commit to having at least 8 children for 11 generations, then our genes will like kind of dominate, like will populate the earth. Basically, they will be the
Well,
main.
dang.
Yes, and apparently a lot of these people are obsessed with Genghis Khan, who it's so funny. I read a book about this when I was in high school. Um, apparently because he was very well, I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So much of like
Yeah.
the Eastern world has
Yeah.
his DNA. White
Yeah.
and Asian, Caucasian, you know what I mean? And then if you think about it,
Oh,
like
I
how
didn't
people
realize.
say that like for instance, a lot of the Celtic people, they all have a common ancestor, Nile of the Nine Hostages. So like
Mm,
these men, it's these king folks, uh usually actually their gene pool dominates the world. That's probably what's wrong with the world.
mm.
Warring dominant
Ah,
gene pool
tainted
infecting
genes
humanity
from
and making us all psychos. Great. So that's their
yeah,
plan.
from men who lit I mean, I don't want to say the R word, but men who, yeah, definitely took advantage of some ladies. Not all of them were willing, I'm sure. I'm sure
Oh
most of them
no,
weren't.
they don't care about that.
And to what you just said, we know that it runs in the family, as one of our headlines says, the family that prays together. Papa must proves you're never too old to impregnate your stepdaughter twice.
Yeah, that's some
Twice.
Woody Allen type stuff there.
Ooh,
Yuck.
needs
Fine
no
family.
explanation. Wow, yeah. Family
Superior
values.
genes. Mm.
Yeah, I guess so. Just
Oh, and so back to the taxpayer stuff because that was one of the first headline. So everyone wants to say this guy's a genius, and I have to admit that I may have fell for that 10 years ago when I saw that he wanted to do some hyperloop thing from LA. Was this when I lived? Yeah,
yeah.
this was back when I lived in California, from LA to San Francisco or something. I thought, oh, how cool! Like, and I really thought that this man was, you know, genius level type stuff. But then after I learned more about him, like he's genius with like investing. He's not that genius. Um, I mean, I'm sure he's still very smart. I bet his high IQ. I bet he has a high
Yeah, I'm
IQ.
sure he's a brilliant man in his own right. Obviously, I certainly don't have any of the several billions he does.
Right.
Um,
But what
yeah,
he's
I
oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Sorry.
No, I'm
Oh
saying
well,
what
I was
he's
just trying
really
to point
great
out
at
that
is
I
getting federal subsidies and getting, a nice
yeah
good head start because he had money from his parents who
from
lived in
yeah, what was the business?
emerald mines. And where were
Right,
they?
South Africa,
It
apartheid
does.
era South
That's all
Africa
you
to
need to
be.
know. Slavers, man.
So
Honestly, Jesus, good
right,
Lord.
actual literal slavers, which is wild,
Yeah,
really
and
really
that's why he wants
crazy.
everybody to commit to working 80 hours a week, or you gotta get on your ice flow the hell out of here. These people are sick. He's a sick
Yeah. So
man. His hair plugs are really good. That was a low blow, wasn't it? No, but I mean that. I didn't mean it in a snarky way. Like I think his hair looks good.
wow, that I mean, just low. Come on now. Now
Would
that's
you have his
you want
baby?
to. Wow, what a
Sorry.
terrible question.
I mean, I
I mean,
know.
obviously,
You
yes.
won? Oh my God.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I don't
Oh, I
know if I
should
made it
say the
clear
little
that
Damon.
I don't want to labor on a daily basis.
That's why we're starting this podcast.
So,
Um,
as if it's not going to be so much more work. Yeah, that is what yeah, that's where I am with that.
I wouldn't
So,
because you wouldn't he's probably
well,
like Nick Cannon. I don't think he's giving out good deals. Like he probably thinks he's gifting you his sperm and his superior genetics and
oh,
like
of course he's not giving out good deals. That doesn't matter.
and then your kid would have to have Elon Musk as his father.
Which is terrible, but I'm sure he's an absent father. I mean,
Yeah.
look at him, you know?
Oh, and we
I,
do believe in launching the matriarchy. So then it's kind of like the mother's influence
yeah,
takes
I'm not worried
precedent.
about. Yeah, in fact, yeah, the more he wants to stay away, the better. Because obviously, I'd be slightly ashamed and disgusted with myself.
Is he tall?
Obviously,
Well, they are Dutch,
that's
right?
a good
Probably. So
question.
probably.
Yeah, but I never hear people talk about that. That's funny. I never hear
I
them
should look
say
at
that.
pictures. That
Well,
Grimes was kind of short and he wasn't towering over her, was he?
yeah, no, he wasn't towering over her. You know what you were saying earlier about earlier, just a few seconds ago, about Elon Musk and genius and how really, he's kind of marrying the genius is in marrying things in systems. And that's what in creating systems and yeah, sort of bringing an idea together, but he's not actually the engineer of these ideas.
Mm.
So Vandana Shiva, that sort of brilliant social critic and author and speaker, had this takedown of basically all of them, all of these tech giants, and saying that yeah, that is what they've done is taken the brain work of other people and capitalize on that and just found a way to make money on that. So, which is fine. Certainly a skill in its own right, but it doesn't deserve our worship.
Okay, I'm glad I let you finish because I was going to jump in when you started at the beginning of that sentence because I was like, oh, but isn't that kind of a genius, being a visionary, being a creative, like putting things together, going after stuff? And it is a kind of genius, but that's not the type of genius we need right now. I don't think.
Nope. No.
Exploiting
We
others, stealing
right. We need
their
people
yeah.
with a vision and a vision that unites people. Not this is his what second week having taken over Twitter, and half the staff's missing. It seems like it's a scramble, and people who've been there for years are just out. With barely any warning, and I don't know. I have no idea what this man is like, but I wonder if he enjoys like making it sound like
Chaos.
everyone has chaos, but also just like why do you need everyone in the office if they don't need to be? Why? What is the need for control? That it's I mean, I know what it is. It's he's a slaver, but
Hmm.
like I don't like that this isn't questioned. It's just a thing people report on. But like, can we? maybe ask him some questions because I would like some clarification on that because I know what it is and I want him to say it out loud and I want people to have to confront that. Why do you want that? Why do you like people to be unhappy or to be contained? Like what is
I don't know if it's that malicious. God, don't have me defending these people. Good Lord. I think the man is
maybe we're
probably
learning
on
something about
several
you?
spectrums. What would you say?
Nothing. Nothing.
And I think he enjoys not the slaving part, but the like
Uh-huh.
he enjoys working so much. Like it fires him up. He's
Oh
interested in,
yeah.
he wants to build, he wants to create, he wants to fix, he wants more. He's got all these ideals. And he wants to have them executed and birthed out into the universe. And he needs to slave drive people to get them. So he's going to. And that's that.
Well, our final headline kind of speaks to what the danger in idolizing someone like this is. So, Twitter's back, and so is the N word.
That's right.
Twitter had been online for, a couple seconds, and the N word made its glorious return and, spiked quite a bit. And it just makes you question what, when you do empower people, which, we talk about a lot in our culture in this time, why is that what they want to do?
Oh, that's so true. Like, why isn't it like F the feds or
Yeah,
CIA, quit doing
isn't
coups?
that
You know what I
interesting?
mean? Like, or Big Pharma, why are you trying to kill us? Oh gosh, Lord, my podcast isn't going anywhere. Anyway, sorry. I hope this doesn't get banned before
Yeah.
it even gets started. But you get the point. Like, you're right. Why is that what they're trying? Why is that their instinct? Says a lot
Yeah.
about them, doesn't it?
It's just yeah, that I don't know how long it's been off. That that offensive speech has been off. Because I don't keep up, hadn't been keeping up with it. But however long it had been, like you've been waiting all this time, and that's what you had to say. Really, it's very
Yeah.
embarrassing.
It's kind of sad.
And not, like you made no point. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
It's
People are
sad. They're sad.
sad.
They're very sad. It's a sad thing.
Agreed.
Okay,
The
so
people
we're
are.
oh,
Yeah,
we're like at the 30-minute mark. And
very. Yeah.
we got to wrap it up then.
Okay.
But people should
Well,
come back next week. Are we doing this again next week? Do we do anything consistently? We're
I
gonna work on
mean,
it.
we are consistently having ideas.
We consistently
That's a
need a
thing.
disciplinarian, a taskmaster,
It is.
Abdi. What's those word? Oh gosh, Abdi Mussin. Oh, I'm butchering it. I don't even think that's the word I'm looking
Ombudsman.
for. Thank you. You know what is that thing?
I know. I was like,
Is that the purse
ombudsman?
keeper? No, Ombudssen. Okay, never
Ombudsman is
mind.
the okay. Yeah. Okay. It's like a journalism thing. Um, yeah. Yeah. Well, then let us wrap up.
Oh
We
no, that's
yeah.
not what I need. Yeah,
Ombudsman. No,
ombudsman.
that sounds
Yeah, they are appointed to investigate individuals' complaints against maladministration. But we might need someone
yeah.
to investigate why we can't get our work done. Or,
That would yeah. I'd love to get to the bottom of that.
well, at least we did our first episode and we are committed
We
to
did a
doing
thing,
more. We
and I'm very
did.
proud of us.
Thank you. I'm proud of us too. Who I'm
Wait,
not proud of is Mr. Yee and Mr. Elon.
Mr. Ye, Mr. Ye,
Or
and
Mr. Ye.
yeah,
God.
Mr. Ye and Mr. Musk.
Yeah, Mr.
Um,
Ye, Mr. Musk.
yeah, our donkeys of the century, to be honest.
Oh, God. And now we need, if you listen to this to the end, to put a comment telling us who is our next cover. Tell us.
Yes, I remember the criteria is someone who is sort of quietly negatively affecting society and impacting the way people think,
Yes. While
and
being
or using
lauded
them
for it.
while being lauded for it. That is what we're looking for. People who have been given hero status undeservedly.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. And
All
that's
right.
it. So goodbye, everyone, and join us next week.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.